Did you know that a checked bag on an airplane flight is safer than a patient in a U.S. hospital? Did you know that? A checked bag? I spoke with John Nance, ABC's aviation safety analyst, about his new book, Why Hospitals Should Fly. It's all about what the healthcare industry stands to learn from the cockpit. Our news medical editor, Dr. Tim Johnson, also joined us to bring a doctor's point of view to the table. John, we know you from aviation. What made you want to write a book about healthcare?
A very wise doc who 20 years ago read a book I'd done on human factors in aviation and said, hey, you need to come over and talk to my people. And it turned out he was right. Dr. Eric Knox, he saw something that I didn't see and most people didn't, which was that the experience in aviation of people in teamwork situations was so much like the problems that we have in medicine trying to form teams that we needed that expertise across the line.
I think people would be startled to know that 48,000 to 100,000 deaths in hospitals due to mistakes. That's quite shocking for people to hear that number. If they heard that in aviation, it would be unacceptable.
Well, it's the fourth leading cause of death, medical mistake, the fourth leading cause of death in America. If that doesn't startle you, I don't know what will. On top of that, you remember just recently we had this terrible crash in Butte, Montana. 14 people died. That very day, over 260 people died on average in American hospitals from medical mistake.
I want to play something. Derry Eason, a young woman, 35 years old, was told that she had breast cancer. She listened to the doctors. The report said that she did. They were wrong. And she had a double mastectomy in 2007. And she came on our program, and she talked about it right here.
I remember the words, you don't have breast cancer and you never did.
Did it mean that somebody else had cancer and that cancer was missed?
Yeah. Yes. I don't know who. I don't know when they found out. I don't know if they know.
Tim, this is what really frightens folks.
Oh, it does, and they have every right to be frightened. A survey, very recent survey, suggests only 1.5% of hospitals are fully electronic now. So that would go a great way to help prevent this problem, but you still have to have people who are willing to communicate with each other, even if you have electronic records.
You know, a lot of folks think of the Miracle on the Hudson. Captain Sully and his team working with such precision to avoid a catastrophe.
Well, let me tell you about that, because there was about a 10 or 15 second window of time that Captain Sullenberger and his co-pilot had to make that critical decision. And I can tell you 80% of their mentality wanted to go to the runway at Teterboro and 20% to the water. There's a procedure in the book for landing in the water. There's a procedure in the book for gliding to an airport. So they were unloaded by standardizing all the variables to be able to make a decision. That's why they had the time to make the right decision.
Well, let's get to some solutions here. In your book, you have this wonderful fictional hospital. How is it different from a local hospital that we go to?
This hospital contains all the various things tactically that we now know contribute to patient safety. Collegial interactive teams where every member of the team has respect for each other. Everybody can communicate. We've got certain things that have been changed, letting nurses make their own decisions about their scheduling, for instance.
And in the hospital setting, traditionally, that has not been the case. When I was being trained, it was a hierarchical, patriarchal society. You had the god, usually a man, who was the doctor, and all the acolytes following. There was no team. There was no cross communication. The nurse didn't dare speak to the doctor. So it's slowly but surely changing, and this is a great model.
I have never seen a moment of greater hope that we were going to go beyond the traditional, well, it's just an insurance problem point, and look at all the dysfunctionalities of medicine. We can do it. Great people, terrible system.